So welcome back to the channel. If you're new, welcome a lot here, and if you're an old-timer, welcome back. I'm going to talk about what I'm reading right now and also what I'm gaming right now. Just want to show you the books, make some reflections because I'm halfway through in many of the books. Some are just started as well, and I have maybe a surprise book for you in the end as well. I will also talk about what I'm gaming right now and some reflections from that. So I hope that will keep you interested throughout the whole video. And if you want to tell me what you read or what you game, please do that in the comments below. So let's start with The Book of the New Sun by Gene Wolfe. I'm halfway through, enjoying it a lot. It's about Severian, a journeyman from the Torturers Guild, and he's, for different reasons, or for one reason maybe, expelled from the guild and thrown out into the world, which is a sci-fi world. But if someone would have told me that, asked me what kind of genre is this, I wouldn't maybe have said sci-fi immediately. He has, however, a sword, laser sword, I don't know, a sword, and there is a lot that reminds me about Christopher Ruccio's Sanity series in here. Initially, I didn't think so. Now he has left the Citadel, and no spoiler, by the way, because it's on the back of the book. It's similar to Sanity series because it's written in retrospective, as I understand it, and it's also very contemplative, and it's a lot of philosophical questions in this book already, halfway through the first book. Many moral questions about what choices you make, what identity you have. That's not a moral question, that's an identity question, but what identity do you have? Who are you, basically? So far, I catch that. There are also a lot of references to historical places, libraries in the Mesopotamia, for example, and it's also references to, I would say, Christianity here a lot, and that is also something similar to the Sanity series. However, the writing style of Gene Wolfe is maybe on a higher level than Ruccio, I would say. It's similar, it's very thoughtful, it's very much up to the reader to interpret and understand what's happening there. It's thoughtful. So with a cup of tea, leaning back in your couch or sofa, this is a great book, and I'm looking forward to it. I can really understand why it can be life-changing already, and I'm going to talk more about the book. I hope to talk with Sam on iSamwise, booktuber, and also with a contemplative reader. I'm looking forward to talk to you with about this book, about Gene Wolfe, and about the Book of the New Sun. So happy that you advised me to start to read this book. I'm very, very happy. I recommend everyone following the channel to pick this book up. It's a great read, and maybe if you do, we can have a talk together if there are followers of the channel who are reading the book. That would be great and very interesting. I have a new version actually of The Witcher. This is the Time of Contempt. I'm not halfway through this one. I'm maybe I'm further in actually. I'm 100 pages in maybe. I was a bit skeptical to Blood of Elves, basically because I really enjoy the short stories by Andrzej Sapkowski, and this is The Witcher. As you can see, the short stories were, quick, smart, with a lot of depth, a lot of folklore, you could say, elements. I think the Blood of Elves was a bit slow for me, and a lot of coming of age story. It still is when it concerns Ciri, especially. But it was difficult for me to understand what the lore meant and where they were. I mean, in what direction they were going or heading to. I think so far in Time of Contempt, it's more of still setting the scene, more of political intrigue, more of getting knowing the kingdoms, for example, the geography. It was a lot about Scoia'tael and Blood of Elves. So I think this book is better because it really sets the stage for the coming books, which I expected from a series here with many books in the Witcher saga. So I hope this will continue. So far, I'm enjoying it. It's a bit of a light fantasy if you compare it to Ericsson, if you compare it to mythology, of course, but it has a lot of connections to folklore. And actually, one interesting thing is that Geralt basically is absent, not totally, but in the beginning of the book. That's interesting, since I'm playing the Witcher 3, and then you act as Geralt, but in the books he's not the point of view character always, so that's a big difference from the video games and the books. We'll continue to tell you more about my reading of The Witcher. Talking about Sapkowski, I'm reading the Tower of Fools, the side trilogy. I've come a bit further into the book now. I think this has the elements of the short stories of The Witcher saga, The Last Wish, and Sword of Destiny. It's quick, it's punchy, so to speak, and it's also smartly written, I would say, and it's a lot of humor in here, and also a lot of twists and turns already in the beginning. This is a historical novel, though, about the Protestants, Hussites, who were rebellious against the papacy in Europe, or the Pope. I think there were I would think there were 3 popes then. Maybe Jay can correct me if I'm wrong there. And it's interesting. It takes place in Poland and Czech Republic, and I think parts of Germany too. And it's real cities, real places, and so on. So it's very interesting if you like to Google that or check it up. So so far, very good. I'm looking forward to that. It's supposed to be a kind of fantasy. I haven't seen that yet. Some say it will come in the second book. Actually, it doesn't matter because I'm just into this. I'm comparing not the book and writing at all to Guy Gabriel Kay, but the idea of his the Lions from Al-Rassan, for example, which is taking place in the Moric Spain, also has light fantasy elements, using real history for telling stories with some sparks of fantasy. I think that's interesting. That might be a way for me to develop my reading here on the channel together with you. Then I have the Kingdoms of Death. Rokio, I talked about it on the channel. I also made a video this weekend about lore. If you have missed that, please check it out. I've come, past the bit of a hindrance for me when I started to read the book because it was very, very action-packed. Now it's come down to ordinary Sunny writing with a lot of reflections, a lot of thoughts from Adrian Marlowe, the main protagonist in the book, and I really enjoy that. Interesting to follow his journey, his connections with the Empire, relationships with the Empire, and also the conflict with the alien race Seals. So, and also the romantic relationship, more or less, with Valka. So the scientist in the book. Not sure if it is romantic though, but it seems like that. Connections to Gene Wolfe when it comes to writing. I think Rokio has been inspired by him. It seems like that. So that would be very interesting to talk about the Book of the New Sun with Christopher Rokio, which also have visited the channel here a few times. So I hope to invite him back when I finished Kingdoms of Death. I want to change to gaming, and I'm spending a lot of time now with why gaming if you're new to the channel? I mean, gaming and books, that's very different, you say. I'm interested in storytelling, and I'm interested in um, how stories are told from the beginning. No books, right? People were telling stories around a campfire, so to speak. So stories can be told in many ways. Maybe in the future, maybe not books will be as popular as today. Books are declining. I'm sad to say that, but it seems like that. I hope that it can increase. Reading is great for your soul and mind. So gaming, especially the games I play, are more or less books, I would say. And I spent a lot of time with Deadfire this weekend, and it's a great game. The best CRPG with I would say, the deepest lore. So try it. There is a Pillars of Eternity 1. And basically it has to do to unravel the mystery of mysterious Adra pillars, magical pillars of some sort that inhabit spiritual power, but they are also used for different groups or um, factions in the pillars world to earn a lot of money on. Not unlikely, the temples in South America, for example, when they were discovered, it was wholly for the people living in Americas, but for the Europeans, it was something to make money of. So there is an aspect of colonialization. I've been spending my time in a temple under the city of Nekitaka, and called the Old City, and old ruins, and there is a god called Ondra, and there is something down there that I'm searching for, actually a conch shell. So I've been enjoying that a lot. And stories can be told through so many ways, and actually one way to tell stories is through things you find: swords, books, artifacts, shells, conch shells in this um, case. You might find inscriptions on the wall, for example, like you do in Pillars of Eternity. So I mean, that's a great way of storytelling, and not unlike the in Europe, the Lascaux caves, for example, or all these figure paintings that were there, for example. I just want to show you some of the games that I'm playing right now. I play them a lot, but basically they have books. So this is Pathfinder, Wrath of the Righteous, Divinity, Original Sin, maybe more humoristic way, made by Larian Studios. They may have made Baldur's Gate 3, which is very popular. Last game I want to show you is the something I'm really curious on. That is Torment, Tides of Numeneria. Looks like this. It's a very interesting, very philosophical game. You don't need to fight. It almost reminds me a little bit of Disco Elysium, and there are many philosophical factions, religious factions, and you are dropped into this sci-fi fantasy world, not knowing who you are, but you are trying to solve a lot of mysteries in here. So I'm looking forward to tell you more about the game, and see what it says. You define who you are, and you define who you come to be, and you try to solve a lot of mysteries in this world. So this one I'm looking forward to. Sorry for the silence, but maybe that's healthy for YouTube. Who knows? And then the last thing I wanted to show is a Swedish book. Sorry for that, and sorry for the algorithm. It might go crazy. This is a book where it looks like this, and it's actually something very different. It's a feel good book, and it's made by a relative of mine, or distant relative of mine, to say. Where the Lynx Appears is the title in Swedish, and it's about about survival, love, and revenge, and where nature's powers and the human's effort or strive for status will collide in a fight for life and death. That's how it's said. And there are actually some fantasy or spiritual elements in this book. I'm quite sure of that. I will talk with Victoria Olausson about the book, and I'm trying to make the first video will be in Swedish, unfortunately, but I will have subtitles. I think you can do that on YouTube. And the second video will be about how to be an indie publisher and how to publish books and the process around that. So I hope you will find that interesting. As I said, the Swedish version will be translated with the subtitles, so I hope you will be able to listen to it. Still, it's a Swedish book, so maybe a bit off the map for you, but sometimes it's great to do something different here on the channel too. So that was my summary of my reading. I'm reading this evening a lot, so I will continue to read. I hope you continue to read too, or game if you do. Here I have a mug or cup of water, actually, with this Starfield. I mean, that's also a game with a lot of lore and so on. So there's a lot of things, and you can experience stories in a lot of different ways. So just keep doing that. Especially, it's a great thing to come home from work or come home from school, if you're in school, for example, to just dive into a story and escape for a while. I think that is great. Maybe you think so too. So that was everything for today. I hope you will have a nice evening and see you later in the next week. Bye.